Hi friends, today we have with us Gurunatha Moksha. From many days, Gurunatha, I had a question whether cloning is legal, moral and ethical. I believe something which is legal need not have to be moral and ethical, right? So is cloning, is it legal, moral and ethical?
Okay. First, we've got to understand what cloning is, right? See, cloning is a form of giving birth to a particular organism using only the female sexual ova parts and some other part from any other. They've not expanded it too much, but they've used some cells to create another being. Now, the thing is, it will be an exact replica of the original cloned organism. Correct?
Correct.
I've done a little bit of research. Of course, people are free to differ with me. That cloning happens naturally. It happens everywhere in the nature. For example, identical twins are actually clones of each other because they come out from the same ova, right? And it happens in nature. Have you heard of this very fantastic guy called Yuval Harari? Noah Yuval Harari. He's an Israeli futurist. Now he says anything that is unnatural, nature will make sure that it doesn't survive.
Okay.
So if there is something surviving here in this world, then it is natural. So man has been experimenting with, mice, with sheep, and a lot of other life forms to produce clones. Now if you look at Mahabharata itself, there is some sort of a cloning mentioned there, and then 100 Kauravas are born and stuff like that. So cloning exists in nature. So there is nothing immoral or unethical about it.
Okay. The man-made cloning is also natural then?
I'm coming to that.
Okay.
Man is a part of nature.
Right.
Isn't it? Man is a part of nature.
But what he's doing is not necessarily natural.
I'm coming to that. See, these are experiments. Now, none of them have actually managed to do any human cloning because it's banned worldwide.
Okay.
Correct? Now, the fear is, what if, for example, what if we are able to revive Hitler? You take a...
That's what the threat is all about.
Correct. Conversely, you can also revive a Buddha. Right? Because we have bones, we have teeth, we have hair of Buddha lying all around. So we can probably take his DNA. Theoretically, it is possible. But you got to understand that there is a donor ova which comes from a female. You still can't produce without a female. Please don't be under the impression that you can produce a cloning without a female. That's not possible. Okay? And if my memory is right, they've only produced females till now. The clones are all feminine. No male clone has been produced, if I'm right. We can check it to make sure that it is so. So, when it comes to tomorrow, let's say man acquires the ability to clone. For example, if you clone organs, you can clone somebody's liver, put it back to him. You can clone somebody's heart and put it. This is a very, very real situation we might be facing in the next 20 to 50 years, where your own cells may be able to reproduce various organs. Now, this is not cloning of an entire person. This is cloning of some organs. And if it helps man live a little longer, why not? See, as far as...
Is it not going against the God, the nature, Gurunath?
See...
Because you have certain lifetime, certain, breathing period and everything, and you're going against the nature, against the God.
Then you must ban all the hospitals. You must stop all the doctors from treating any disease. You must stop vaccinations and polio drops and save crores and crores of rupees and dollars in the world. No, we have been interfering with our lives all along. You should be then banning yoga because it expands your life. So the whole idea of expanding a life, see the difference is, I will tell you, when you understand that the body is mortal, whether it lives for 100 years or it lives for 1,000,000 years, it is going to die. The body will die, the soul doesn't.
But you are replicating the original form of a body into some other form, which is something never heard of in the past.
Yes.
So what I understand from your this briefing is that you are supporting cloning. You say that it's ethical and it is moral also.
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I'm neither for or against cloning.
Okay.
I'm saying we have not experimented with it.
So you don't have your own opinion?
I have an opinion.
Okay.
I have an opinion that if nature allows cloning to happen, see, nature is right now looking at stopping human population, because we are already about 700 crores worldwide. So there is no point of creating more life when Earth cannot support 700 crore people, right? 7 billion on this Earth, that's a lot of number. So I'm saying, see, if nature allows cloning, which like in identical to, they produce different varieties of flowers and fruits by cloning sometimes. So, and it increases production. Now that kind of cloning we definitely require.
Okay.
We definitely require, because we need to feed the ever expanding population of humans, right?
That's ethical also, I think. To some extent.
It's not a question of morality and ethics.
Why?
No, because I will tell you what it is. See, before it can become a law, there should be a sizable amount of activity that is already happening. We don't have the numbers right now to make a law. See, you already banned it, you got scared, and you've already banned cloning on humans. But I have seen a photograph, maybe you can show it to our viewers, where an entire human ear was cloned on a mouse, okay? And that can be implanted. Now, something like that, for medical, I'm not even an entire human.
Okay.
Something like that is for me okay, if it expands the life of humans. Second point.
Should we consider only human beings here, Gurunath, or should it be, the welfare of all the living beings on this earth? Because now, if you think deeply into that process, the life of that mouse, it's gone, it's finished, and for the benefit of a human being. So the question of ethicalness, the moralness arises here.
No. See, I'll tell you what. Man is but a product of all life forms, okay? And of course, all animals have equal opportunity to live as much as a human. Their life is as important to us, including microbes and parasites, which we cannot see. But we are fighting them all the time. Let's be realistic here. What is not beneficial for humans, we have been destroying for thousands of years, okay? It's not good for us. For example, you do agriculture. So there, let's say you sow rice seeds and weeds grow. You take away the weeds all the time. You kill the weeds all the time.
It's fine.
No, do you talk about ethics? Do you talk about the right for the weeds to live?
But here you are talking about growing the complete an ear on the back of the mouse, sacrificing its life.
I don't have the information whether the mice dies or not. I don't have that information. But obviously, I'm also compassionate about the mouse. I don't want it to die. If the ear can be taken off and the mouse can live its own life.
No, my whole question is, so the question of ethical, whether the cloning is ethical or not, the question becomes very important, because whether it's natural or not is secondary. The first part is, so is actually, the question of ethical, whether it's ethical, that arises.
No. What is ethics? Now let's go to that.
What is dharma
I will tell you what ethics is. Ethics is when sufficient number of people agree that this is the right thing to do. For example, you have a media ethic. The people in media decide. If the government comes in, you say keep out. People of dharma decide, people of Hindus come together, Hindu leaders come together and say this is what dharma is.
And if all the people say, if whatever they are saying may be wrong, and then still, so you are comparing something ethics to democracy.
I am not comparing it. That is how ethics are. When you say ethics, that is what it means. I am not making, this is what mankind has made. This is not defined by Gurunatha. This is how it is. What is code of ethics? Code of ethics is created by the people who are in that profession or in that line of work, right? Now we have Geneva Convention, which gives an ethical code of conduct for armies to run. So all the armies came together and said, this is what we are going to do. They agreed.
So obviously,
let me tell you, I want to bring your notice to, Acharya Madhva of Karnataka. Very great Acharya, very great religious leader, he says that all civilization, in the sense, every aspect of civilization is unnatural. Nagarikate aprakritika, prakriti viruddha hogodu. So when you go against nature, then civilization is born. So he has defined it very well.
Okay.
Otherwise, you go live in the forest.
Right.
Why do you need the shirt? Why do you need glasses?
Correct.
So we can start questioning everything that way. See, the code of ethics comes from people who are involved in that field. You and I are not into cloning, right? See, I will tell you something. Like, the more relevant, if you allow me, the more relevant question is, let's say tomorrow we are able to clone Buddha, or we are able to clone
say Hitler,
or anybody, any bad person. The question that arises here is, will the clone
behave in the same way of the original or not?
We don't know. We don't know, because behavior is created by a lot of other things like environmental factors. It also has DNA in it. So same mother and father are not coming together. So the ancestry might be different completely. The timeline in which they are born. For example, if Rama is born today, he might behave in a totally different way. He might have the same ethics. He might still be Maryada Purushottam, but he might behave in a different way completely. So there's no. I believe that there is no need to worry about whether if we clone a wrong person, will he make. For example, if a Hitler comes back, will he create a bigger Holocaust? But I will tell you something. The potential of Holocaust exists whether you clone or not. The point is, another Hitler might, I'm sure, will come along sometime in future. Another Buddha will also come along. So, see, this is how human life works. There's no need to be afraid of it. But we have to become aware of what we are doing. We know where we can expand our limits to and where to stop. See, for example, with me, if you say, if we can improve crops, if we can grow organs, I have no problem. Can we make another human? I don't know, because as far as spirituality, especially Hindu dharma and adhyatma is concerned, life has a meaning only because it has death. If you don't die, life doesn't have a meaning.
Right.
Okay.
So whatever is natural, that will remain, even if it is cloning or whatever it is, it will remain.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Fine. Thanks, Gurunatha. Thanks. Here we end this discussion. After this discussion, I have got one more doubt, whether these cloned living beings, do they have Atma in them, the soul in them, or not? Is it without Atma or without soul? We're going to have that discussion in our next video. Thanks for watching this particular video. If you have any questions, any doubts on cloning or any other subjects related to Adhyatma, metaphysics, legal, democracy, or whatever it is, Gurunatha is here to answer all those questions. Thanks for watching this video. Take care. Bye.
I see.